Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CT Toys Brown Suited Wolverine, which is a bootleg of the Mafex number 138. And it's quite a sought after bootleg these days because the Mafex 138 has become so expensive online that it's become kind of unattainable to most people, myself included. So pretty excited to have this because I do like the brown suit on Wolverine quite a bit, and it's definitely looking, based on reviews I've seen and stuff, it looks to be quite impressive. So, without further ado, let's unbox this and see what we get inside. So, just wanted to quickly mention, when you buy stuff from AliExpress, this is to be kind of expected because usually to achieve low shipping rates, they're gonna just wrap this in bubble wrap and then they have a bag over it, and that's about the protection it gets. So that's gonna get squashed and stuff like that. Fortunately, the figure is not harmed, but the box is quite a mess. This is basically what we get here. So taking a look at what we get inside the package, you do get the Wolverine figure, of course. You do get an unmasked head sculpt, a grinning head sculpt, a sort of cowl to put around the neck, the claw hands, of course, and some gesture hands. Alright, so let's get into the figure details on this. First of all, taking a look at the head sculpt, you can see it's actually very well done. There's some a slight chip on this eyebrow of mine there, but the sculpting and the paint on the face actually looks really good. Not sure if they forgot to sculpt his right nostril there, but still looks good nonetheless. And it is pretty well painted, except for that little chip there. I'm gonna have to probably just hit it a little touch with some black paint. Something I'll mention about this arm is that although it can raise and the bicep joint can move pretty well, this ball joint inside there is extremely tight. So for fear of breaking it, I'm going to have to put a little mineral oil down inside there. I just put a little drip and see if that can help. Moving all on down to the chest area there, you can see it's pretty cleanly done. There are like a sort of orange shading going on right there. The only problem is I think they put that same orange shading on the arm, and it should not have been like this dark if you wanted to do a shading on the arms. See it on that side as well. Well, it's not too much of an eyesore, to be honest. Unless I point it out there, it sort of actually just looks like reflection. So the crotch and the belt are soft rubber, and the belt does move out of the way. I think it's connected at the back. The legs are really clean. Would have been nice if to have some of this shading on the legs as well. Not seeing any, to be quite honest. It might have a slight little bit in the front here, but to the back, definitely not. They should have gone a little bit heavier to match the ribs area there. The boots are actually soft rubber on the ends there, and there actually is a boot swivel, which is really nice. Normally Mafex just utilizes this joint at the bottom there, so really cool to have a boot swivel. You can see the boots are actually really cleanly done as well. Now mine has a little chip on this side here. Barely see it though. something to nitpick at, I guess. One thing about the ankles is this one is pretty good, really stiff and holds its position, but as you can see the joint stays together, but this joint on this right side here doesn't want to stay together, and then from the time you push it together and you move the joint, it's gonna come apart again, which makes the joint not super floppy, but it is loose, or looser than I would like at least. You can see the gloves really well painted, especially for a bootleg. Normally they'll just slop some stuff on and be done with that. And yeah, really well done. I have to say, definitely lives up to the hype that a lot of people were mentioning. I just have the issue here where I'm gonna have to put some oil down inside that joint because it's extremely stiff, and I don't advise, if you have the same issue, to move that until you get some oil down there. So yeah, I'm gonna try oiling that and we're gonna see if it makes any difference. You know, just to be safe, I think I should just pop this over. I don't know if it does come apart at the bicep there. And then you can slide this shoulder cover piece off, just so I could get a better angle to put some more oil down there. Yeah, I really don't want this to break. I think I might have put a little bit too much oil, but better too much and it's moving than to finally feel it working itself in there now. Thank God. Alright, so like I mentioned, definitely worth to take the time and put the oil on that, because you don't want your figure to break as soon as you get it. And then this just plugs back in like so. Alright, so let's get into the articulation on this figure. The head does go up about that far, does go down around that far, does tilt, diagonal down, diagonal up, no problem. The shoulders do go up about that far, down about that far, does rotate, bicep does swivel, the elbows are double jointed, the wrists are ball hinged, so can change the direction of that ball hinge and have it move in whatever direction you need to. The butterfly joint is kinda different on this guy. It goes back about that far, goes forward quite a bit across the chest, which is really nice, especially for Wolverine. And additionally, also allows the joint to go up about that far at the shoulder, and also rest down completely at the side. So I thought that was pretty cool. The torso does go back about that far, together with the torso and the waist joint, that is. Both lean back about that far. Oops, popped them off. They crunch forward about that far, which is really good too. They do work in tandem, so you get some tilt, which is nice as well. The hips are drop down, so once you drop them down, they can kick forward, and the crutch, as I mentioned, is a soft piece, so it does actually kick up extremely high. And it can go back about that far Fortunately, it does not split too far out. This is about the best it's gonna get. If you try to force it any more than that, it's gonna pop out. I think it's sufficient though. The side has a swivel on top there. The knees are double jointed. Can't get about that far. The boots do swivel, which is pretty cool for Mafex. Normally their swivel joint is usually just at the bottom here, but I think they should incorporate boot swivels more. The ankle does kick forward about that far, back about that far, rocker, and there's toe joints. So all in all, articulation really impressive on this. I think where it has the Marvel Legends versions beat is more or less on the head, because you can look all the way up while doing some sort of crouching poses like that, and I think that's really necessary for Wolverine. So now we're going to take a quick look at his accessories and how they work on him. I will mention, however, I did put some drops of oil as well into the joints on the hips and also the torso, just to sort of loosen them up a bit, because they were also a little bit tight. So just keep that in mind in case yours are tight as well. So in package, he does come with his fist hands, and he also comes with some relaxed hands as well. And all of those are actually painted really nice. The silver on those shoots, or whatever you call them, really well done on all the hands actually. And then the ones most people are gonna care about are the claw hands, and those look spectacular. The silver that they did on these, really good. No blemishes or anything. There's one thing I'll mention though, these claws are made of a hard plastic, so if this falls, it's going to break. So just be very careful and put your figure on stands and stuff if you have it on your shelves, so it doesn't take any dives. But you can see, it looks really impressive. He comes with a neutral head sculpt by default in package. He also comes with a smirking head sculpt. And then he comes with an unmasked angry head sculpt. He does also come with this cowl piece, which goes around the neck to simulate the mask being down. Now for the part most people probably very curious about. He stands about 5 3/4 inches tall. So starting him right off with another CT Toys figure. We have the CT Toys Amazing Spider-Man. Here he is next to an SH Figure Arts Luffy, recently reviewed, so check it out. Here he is next to a Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Ken. Here he is next to Jada Mega Man. Here he is next to a McFarlane Batman. Here he is next to a Mafex Batman. Here he is next to a premium DNA Earthworm Jim. Here's another comparison I think people want to see, and that is next to a Marvel Legends Wolverine. And as you can see, he's only a slight bit shorter than the astonishing Wolverine. And lastly, here he is next to a Marvel Legends Ant-Man. So having this figure for a few days and playing around with it, I could definitely say the figure certainly lived up to the hype. It's really impressive what they managed to accomplish, and especially for the small price point that they did. They actually have shaded on this, which not even Marvel Legends come with. So really impressive. So much so that I actually cancelled my pre-order for the Secret Wars Wolverine. because I think this Wolverine meets everything I require in the character. Super articulated, and I don't think Marvel Legends will be topping the articulation on this anytime soon. The only thing I would say he's missing is a angry masked head sculpt, but they did mention they were going to do the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and his head is supposed to be compatible with this one, so looking forward to that one. Other than that, with the cons, I would say look out for tight joints or overly tight joints. Put some oil or other lubrication in there to get those joints working properly. And I did have the issue with my ankle joint where it was sort of split apart and it's kind of loose. But other than that, don't really have much complaints. Some minor paint blemishes here and there. It really is pretty impressive what they managed to accomplish. So, hope this review was helpful to anybody who was on the fence about getting this figure. And until next time, you all take care.